2 Samuel chapter 14 tells a captivating story of forgiveness and reconciliation. It focuses on King David and his estranged son, Absalom. Absalom had murdered his half-brother, Amnon, and fled. He lived in exile for years. King David deeply mourned Absalom's absence. However, he was also bound by law and custom to punish his son's crime. This created a painful impasse for David, torn between justice and a father's love. Joab, David's loyal general, recognized the king's inner turmoil. He saw that David yearned for Absalom's return. Joab devised a clever plan to bring about reconciliation. He sought out a wise woman from the town of Tekoa, known for her persuasive skills, and entrusted her with a delicate mission. Joab understood King David's heart. He knew the king longed to welcome Absalom back. But David needed a reason, a way to navigate the complexities of justice and mercy. Joab orchestrated a plan, using the wise woman as his instrument. He instructed her to approach the king disguised as a mourner. The woman was to present a fabricated story to David. She would claim to be a grieving widow facing the loss of her last surviving son. The town, she would argue, demanded her son's life as punishment for a crime. Her plea for mercy would mirror David's own dilemma, prompting him to reflect on his stance towards Absalom. Joab's plan was intricate, relying on the woman's acting skills and David's inherent sense of justice. He hoped to awaken the king's compassion, paving the way for Absalom's return. The woman from Tekoa, following Joab's instructions, presented herself to King David. She played the role of a distraught widow, pleading for her son's life. She wove a tale of family strife and accidental death. Her performance was convincing, her grief palpable. She argued that taking her last remaining son would extinguish her family line, leaving her utterly desolate. The woman strategically appealed to David's sense of justice and compassion. She cleverly drew parallels between her fabricated predicament and David's own situation with Absalom. She emphasized the importance of preserving life and lineage. She implied that true justice involved tempering punishment with mercy. The woman's parable, crafted by Joab and delivered with theatrical flair, subtly nudged David towards reconciliation. David listened intently to the woman's plea. He was moved by her story and impressed by her wisdom. He saw a reflection of his own pain in her fabricated loss. The woman skillfully guided the conversation, prompting David to pronounce judgment on her case. He declared her son innocent, ensuring his safety. She then masterfully revealed the true purpose of her visit. She connected her parable to David's relationship with Absalom. By showing mercy to her son, David had, in essence, paved the way for forgiving his own. The woman's clever strategy exposed David's unspoken desire for reconciliation. David, realizing the impact of the parable, acknowledged Joab's involvement. He conceded, allowing Absalom to return from exile. While not fully restored to his former position, Absalom was allowed back into his father's presence. This marked the beginning of a slow process of reconciliation between father and son. The story of David and Absalom in 2 Samuel chapter 14, while a historical account, also holds deeper significance. It foreshadows God's ultimate act of reconciliation through Jesus Christ. Just as David longed for his son's return, God yearns for a restored relationship with humanity, separated from him due to sin. The wise woman's plea for her son mirrors Jesus Christ's intercession for humanity. He stands before God, pleading for mercy and forgiveness on our behalf. David's decision to grant the woman's request, despite the crime committed, reflects God's boundless grace. He offers forgiveness and reconciliation freely, even though we fall short of his glory. While Absalom's story ends tragically, it points towards a greater hope found in Jesus. He bridges the gap between God and humanity, offering complete reconciliation to all who accept his sacrifice. Are you ready to continue? Just click here and come along with me to the next chapter.